The Every Other Saturday podcast contains strong language and Greg Stewart enthusiasm.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello, are we starting this now then?
We'll start it now then, why no?
Start it now since we've finally got the technical difficulties out of the way. With it being over the phone. Level 4, how do you feel about
that? That's what it is, mate. Doesn't bother me, that's what it is.
That's what it is, I know. Just need to get on with it. Just as long as we don't cancel the football.
Oh, I know. I'm boogieing all weekend, mate. That's what I've been doing.
So, obviously, it was a break for the podcast, but we're back. We're here to talk about sort of the boogieing, if you want to say so.
Oh,
also, we'll touch on a couple of games past Rangers games, because we've not actually talked about them like that. And then we're going to do a top 10 list. We're going to do a top 10 list, basically reviewing sort of best goals for this season. There's always going to be one winner, everybody knows that, but I just feel it's interesting to look at what goals that you yourself and what the listeners will obviously get back to us with, because there's plenty of goals to pick for.
Plenty of goals to pick for, isn't there?
There's plenty. Aye, a lot of good goals. So the ice cream van is just going off outside. So obviously that's that. I don't know what time's that. 6:20.
It's dinner time, mate. What's this all about?
Yeah. They get their dinner for down there. No ice cream van. But that's a round up for episode 16. So if you want to jump into it, mate.
Aye.
If you want to jump into Benfica, that was the first game on the horizon. The first game, it was a couple of weeks ago now. So, what do you remember for the game?
I remember the first couple of minutes. Well, it was a shaky spell, but get through it, get the goal back, and then we just dominated the game. I should have had a lot more goals than also what we came away with, and obviously we chucked it at the end of the game. So disappointed. Obviously, it felt more like a loss at the time, but
Aye,
a Champions League team, and we dominated them. To be honest with you, really. So
that's exactly the way I thought as well. Obviously, with the game starting so poorly, with just an error for Herlander. It's not like a Rangers defender really do that this season. Puts us right under pressure to start with, but then I thought great work to get back into the game. Mm-hmm. In terms of Stephen Davis, who played that pass through to Ryan Kent, and then obviously Otamendi gets sent off, which completely changed the game. We get back into it with some good work, albeit an own goal, but some good work for Tavernier, good cross into the box, and it became 2 just before half time. Kamara, that was a great goal.
Tremendous goal.
Might see that on the list, mate.
Might see that on the list. I know, I was about to say that.
That was a great goal. Obviously, you don't see Kamara scoring many or even taking a shot for that matter. So that was good. Takes into half time, 2-1. We then go up 3-1, which I was so surprised at. Like, just with the way the game started, the opposition, I was like, could be in for a tough night here. But it just seems honestly like Rangers could just play them now, you know what I mean, and just blow them away. So they were good, but the only problem I've got with that is letting the other team back into it way too easily. Just sleeping again. Hollander was for the second goal, lets him right back into the game when they weren't really doing anything, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, I've said that to you before on the podcast that Hollander has any moments in him. He had it at Hibs, especially. He'll just fall over the place, bamboo and ice, as I've called him. He just has the kind of moments in him, which is quite worrying. But apart from that, he's been solid this season so far anyway, just apart from his couple of slip-ups.
I was going to say he's been like probably the unsung hero of this season, you know what I mean? Apart from obviously the couple of errors he's made. He really doesn't get the praise as much as Connor Goldson gets beside him. So, and then last minute, it was poor at the time. Obviously, you were gutted they go through 3 each, because that would have been a monumental win for Rangers. You know what I mean?
Been a massive statement.
That would have been a massive statement. Like, nobody was really giving no matter how good we were playing, nobody really gave us a chance going over there and even taking anything for the game. Apparently, Benfica, they spent this amount of money, they've got these players, but Rangers are Rangers. This is the Rangers we know and love. So I would say it's a good point to get, and then that moves on to, I think that's Benfica at home next Thursday. I think
next Thursday
after we get this fucking Scotland game out of the way.
Aye.
That's next Thursday and that. So I look forward to that again.
I think Morelos deserves obviously big praise for obviously beating Ali McCoist's record in Europe. Probably never going to have an easier goal than just tapping in the back of the net. I say that, but he can't do it against Celtic. But no, no, it's good to see Alfredo. I'm so happy for him. Obviously, I'm happy he's stayed, and I just hope he continues to just deliver with the goals in Europe.
100%. Obviously, it's his record now. He can keep building on that, and I hope he does with more goals come the Benfica game. But we'll talk about that obviously more next week when we get in depth. But then that moved us on at the time. Hamilton at home. We obviously had Alistair on talking about that, previewing the game, seeing what Hamilton were all about. And that was just an absolute fucking whitewash, wasn't it?
That was a training session, man. That was embarrassing nearly for Hamilton. I feel sorry for the big man, obviously supporting him, because honestly, if that was my team turned up against the team like us who are on form like that and didn't even fight, they just sort of let it happen, you know what I mean?
Nah, it was just. He even said that on the podcast and all. He was like, Hamilton, they might stay in the game for the first 10-15 minutes, but then as soon as they lose the first goal, it's just one-way traffic for them. And so it was 4-0 at half time, and then we get another 4 second half. It was unreal. We did play some great football though.
No, I know, but you just seen our players laughing as soon as like the 5th or 6th came in. They're just laughing. They're thinking to themselves, what
exactly.
Is this?
It's just, I know, is this Scottish Premier League, or are we playing like an amateur team here?
I know.
So
that honestly, it's embarrassing, man.
Yeah, it was for a Hamilton point of view.
For a Hamilton point of view, it's embarrassing, but for our point of view, it's obviously tremendous. We keep scoring goals and doing our thing. So
because we've wanted goals, and we've wanted them in multiple amounts, and of course we got that in that game. 8-0. I don't know if I've even seen any 8-0 games in my life, by the way.
I know as I've said to you, I said to you last week, it's like, where you've seen Rangers scoring 3 goals. Obviously, I've been a bit, I don't know, man. Last week I wasn't on last week when we had Alistair hanging on, I wasn't on the ball really with the podcast, but I just think obviously this team can just, even against like more tougher opposition, as I say, Benfica, like you just see us like dominating a Champions League level team.
No,
it's just impressive to see that obviously the performance he put in, and then he scored 8 goals as well. I know it's against Scotland, but still to score 8 goals into any team's impressive, really.
Yeah, well, also you've seen changes again. Like, it wasn't just the same lineup. You saw changes coming in. Roof obviously came in for the start. Defoe, which we pretty much thought was a nailed-on starter as well.
Nailed on.
You also get the debut Bongani Zungu as well. Calvin Bassey comes on at half time.
My boy
Bassey, of course. So you get a lot of game time for a lot of players. You know what I mean? I'm just going to ask you, how did you find Zungu played?
I mean, he looks like a player, doesn't he? He looks like a real special player, I would say so myself. I'm excited to watch him throughout the season, to be honest with you, mate. I don't know about yourself.
I'm really excited about him, because just when he was on the park anyway, subbed on, his first pass is a long diagonal ball to the right winger. I can't remember who it was at the time. And he's making just forward passes. He just looked like a really tidy midfield player. He looks like somebody that will flourish in this kind of team. Whether it be, I know he's primarily a centre defensive midfielder, but could he be that box to box going forward? I think he could be. Obviously, it's early doors, but
it's early doors yet. But I know, I agree with you. He probably could be. He's a lot more. That's what I was on about. We needed anyway. Was a midfielder who's doing what Davis does and tries to get the ball forward instead of doing what I feel sometimes Ryan Jack does, and that's play safe football. Just get to the defence sometimes and just, you know what I mean, tiddle taddle with the ball. I don't know, man, but he looks like a player. I would say so.
It's somebody I would like to see. Obviously, tested under a different environment. Obviously, it's 5-6-0 up at the time he was on the park. So you want to see him tested in a game where we need to go and get a winning goal or something like that. So that's where I'll obviously take Zungu. But in first impression, first look at him, he looks good. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Hopefully he stays fit, because I know he has pretty injury prone.
Right.
What else happened in that game? Brandon Barker scored. That's what happened.
My boy Barkin Brander, he got himself a goal, didn't he?
It was a good goal, by the way, and all.
I know, it was actually a good goal tonight. What was I going to say to you? No, I'm just I'm delighted. I don't mean to talk about international football now, but I've seen a lot of English fans saying that they would take Gerrard for the job, and I'm like, no, just leave him now, mate. All right, he's trying to annoy you.
Nah, Gerrard's here for another 5 years anyway.
Aye,
hands off. But good segue to bring us into international football. Obviously, our most hated sort of time, but this time there's a massive game for our country.
I mean, let's be honest, mate. All right, let's be honest here. Right? I know you're not the biggest international lad. You know what I mean? I've sort of went off it. I mean, when you watch Scotland countless times fail for tournaments, and
you just become numb to it.
Yourself. Exactly, you just think to yourself, what's the point? But no, I thought the game that obviously was the qualifying game was just perfect for Steve Clarke and how he plays football. You know what I mean? The top-notch performance. They should have scored a hell of a lot more goals than they did during the actual game itself, I feel.
That's the problem I see with like a Steve Clarke team. Like, defensively solid all the time, but it's the goals. He never really gets a lot of goals out of these teams.
Well, I mean, if you're picking all of them like Burnley, you're not going to get a goal for anywhere, to be honest with you.
He's come under a lot of criticism. I don't rate him either.
Well, it's well deserved, to be honest with you, mate. He's a waste of a jersey, as I've said, man. I really think when the tournament comes around, I think for myself personally, if the boy for Hibs that you were raving about,
Kevin Nisbet.
If he keeps firing the goals in the net, I think he deserves to get himself at the tournament. I really just don't want to see somebody like Oliver McBurney just go to the tournament because he's good at heading the ball, you know what I mean, hold up and play. Like, he's a striker at the end of the day. His job's to put the ball in the end of the, you know what I mean, in the net. So I don't know, I just think he's a waste of a jersey, man.
I believe he's a waste of a jersey and all, because I think he only gets picked due to him being in the Premier League, obviously, with Sheffield, big price tag. He gets picked for that alone. I've never seen him actually put a performance in where I'm like, oh, he's definitely worth that amount of money. We need him in this team.
I've never, even when I was in the Championship and he was playing for Swansea at the time, I know he was right. People were raving about him then at that time, and they were saying that he could go and play for any of the big teams or something like that. I remember at the time anyway. And obviously he moved to Sheffield, which was, I mean, you can take it as a, you know what I mean, is it a big move or is it whatever you want to say? But I don't think he's yet to see him do it in the Premiership, and I just don't think he's a good striker at all, man.
Nah, I think Scotland's striking options are limited right enough. I mean, Lorne Shankland for me really is not shown what he did in the Championship. Obviously, with him being at Dundee United and that, they've not had a great start to the season with that, but he's not been as good as everybody sort of thought he would be. But he's still getting picked. What's his name again? It's another Oliver, isn't it? Oliver Buck. Oliver Buck, obviously. I rate Dykes though, by the way.
Dykes, no, I rate Dykes and all, man. I was a bit unsure of him at first, but after watching him play, like properly watching him play, I'm like, he's a right good thing, man. I think if you get him firing on cylinders, maybe with that boy for Hibs, you know what I mean, could be. But obviously it's Ryan Fraser, really, that was a miss for him. That's a good
partnership up front, little and large, if you say. Like, Dykes holds up and Fraser runs on it. I think that's a great partnership. You've seen it work pretty well with Scotland and all. So they have got exciting players, mostly in the left back position, right enough.
Obviously in the left back position, but I think just in the middle of the park as well, it's extremely exciting. You know what I mean? With Ryan Jack, obviously, and Ryan Christie, Stuart Armstrong, even Cal McGregor. I think it's a really exciting team for Scotland. But see, just watching the games there, and see when you're watching Kieran Tierney like sprint, see the faces he's pulling to run after the ball, and then he gets it and he whips it in. Like I just think Tierney's a tremendous player. Honestly, mate, I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Robbo, I know. Like Robbo, I was a bit questioning like the way Scotland captain, but honestly, no, he's a proper leader and all. He seems and all. You know what I mean?
Aye. You want your leaders to step up in these kind of games. Obviously, Tierney, Robertson, John McGinn. If you want to touch on, obviously, Ryan Jack and all, I'd say maybe that's his best performance in a Scotland jersey, to be honest with you.
No, I would say so and all, mate. As I say, Brian Jack is he's a tremendous midfielder when he plays on his day. Like, I don't know why he doesn't shoot more often, as I said to you. Remember in the cup game against Celtic, he had an unlucky shot.
Last season he was scoring goals. I mean, I've not seen it this season.
I know, that's what I'm on about. So I don't know why he's not having a dig at goal more often. But even at that, mate, I just think he's a tremendous footballer altogether, and I just really proud, obviously, because he's a Rangers lad, and you know what I mean. He's representing Scotland at the highest level now in the tournament.
So exactly. It's
good to see.
Definitely good to see. Obviously, your own players sort of doing your country proud. So, happy with that. Obviously, it could have ended in heartbreak with Luka Jovic pot him
no,
up.
I mean, listen. I know, but listen. Realistically, David Marshall should be saving that. He made some good saves during the game and all.
It's one switch in it. Like, they were solid the full game, and then it's just one chance. And
that is our nation, don't a teammate. Like, you know what I mean? It'll be going well, and then we'll slip up, but we'll pull it back, and we'll keep going for it. Obviously, I know you're the biggest international lad. I know we said that in the very first podcast. For myself, you get a bit numb with it when your team's not obviously doing well. I mean, I've no thing to say. You know what I mean? I support. Obviously, I'm half and half. You know what I mean? I can support Scotland and England and that. Mate. I see the menu. You know what I mean? But I'm more so Scotland. You know what I mean? I watch every international game when it comes to it. You know what I mean? And as I said, like the real tournament the qualifying campaign, I remember just was Stratton. I thought we were going to do it. We were going to go to France, and then we slipped up there.
That was the last campaign I remember.
That was the one that was a real kick in the teeth, man. But this one, buzzing for it, and I'm just hoping that the fans are allowed back into stadiums, because the atmosphere for the England-Scotland game will be tremendous.
That's definitely one you'd want to go to. That would be unreal.
Oh no, I'm definitely wanting to get tickets for it, man. Like, honestly,
that would be unreal, by the way. But obviously, we've got to wait till next year to even contemplate these sort of games.
How yourself, as somebody who doesn't really, you know what I mean, you only really watch international football probably for the tournaments in the summer. See, for yourself, is this a tournament that you're going to back your nation, like you're going to invest time into watching?
Well, I'm majorly a club man. It's like Rangers and Rangers only for me. You know what I mean? Obviously Liverpool, England, and that. But it's just when international breaks come round, I'm like, oh fuck's sake. Like, I've always been like that. Like, regardless if Scotland are playing bad, good, like whatever's happening. The only time I really am invested in it is if there's something to play for. Obviously, with that game Thursday night, something to play for. I was interested in it. Penalty shootout, cannot beat it. And then obviously you see the celebrations. You're buzzing after it. You know what I mean? We weren't even born the last time they were in a tournament.
No, we
weren't even born the last time they were in a tournament. So to see that, I thought I'd never see it. Like, and to be up in the Euros, it's something me and you've never witnessed before. So I'm looking forward to it. I will be backing Scotland, of course. I will be.
Do you have a Cootam on for it?
Did I? No, did I? I put Ryan Jack anytime goal scorer, and Scott McTominay to be carded. And I was actually messaging Zach at the time. He was like, "Are you watching this game?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm in work, but I've got it on my phone." He was like, "Born." I'm like, "I can see this going draw 90 minutes, extra time, then Scotland winning penalties." I've got the screenshot and all, by the way. So I should have fucking bet it, but I didn't.
No, as I say, mate, I know I've always known you know what I mean, that's the way you are. You're just, you know what I mean, Rangers is the main sort of thing. It's the same thing, obviously, international breaks caused a lot of problems for Liverpool, losing a lot of their big players.
Unbelievable, they're dropping like flies, man.
I don't know. Listen, you must have made a deal with the devil to win that league title last season, because it just seems
Exactly.
these are just nobody wants us to win it. I don't know, man. But no, as I say, mate, for myself, I do follow it. You know what I mean? I agree with you. It can at times be like, another international break, because when you're watching Rangers and they're playing so well, and then it has to stop because of the break, and then they come back and they're not playing their best.
That's
You know what I mean?
my
See if we didn't have that break. I know, I totally agree with you, mate. But no, as I say, I'll be representing my nation if we do go out. I'll be supporting England. What a joke, man.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Borna Barisic is in another group and all with Croatia.
I know Bora versus
Jack.
Ryan
So
Jack.
definitely some interesting games. Croatia, Scotland should be a good game. England, Scotland. It's Czech Republic, I think, is the other one in it.
And that's what I'm on about. Both games at Hampden, you know what I mean? We've got the home crowd, home advantage.
So I'm looking forward to it. Like, at the time, I was like, who's really bothered to probably lose? But now that they're in, it was a good.
But that's the usual mentality. That's what I'm saying, mate. That's the usual mentality up here. It's like, I'll fucking lose. You know what I mean? Because that's, think about, obviously, we won the ball the last time Scotland qualified for Hangways. Like, that's the mentality. Is like, a lot of people haven't seen, you know what I mean, like their team make it there. And I think sort of being proud of where you come from, with this country sort of getting lost, obviously, because I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like it's gone down. Like,
hopefully, it's been rejuvenated.
Man. I know, that's what I'm on about. It should be, you know what I mean? I put Rangers and Celtic aside when it comes to international football, but you know what I mean? Obviously, when, say, you know what I mean, Griffiths or something gets tackled bad like that, I get up. But at the same time, you know what I mean? You want to hang with your nation, but as you say, Jack, this is a Rangers podcast, so the main focus back to his Rangers.
Yeah, true. And there's a couple of, obviously, Rangers stories with being the international break. Yanis Hadji is been reported to lost confidence and asked not to play in the senior Romanian team, but dropped down to the under-21 team. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, you could see it for the way he was playing, mate. I'm not going to lie, the way he's been playing. I know the fans have been sort of getting him stick and all that. I've personally can see it. He's a sensitive boy, you can tell he is, you know what I mean? And I just think you just need to be careful with him, because his career can sort of go one way, which is the way we want it to go, or it can go the other way. And I think he's just suffering with mental health, really, mate, to be honest with you. I really just think I don't know, I just think I just really feel it for the lad, to be honest with you, mate. I really do. I don't know about yourself. I just feel it for him. You know what I mean? He's still assisting and everything, and people are still saying, "Oh, but I want to see this and that." I get it, but I just don't feel like he's that kind of that player all the time, mate. I don't know.
I feel like he's still
he's
early, obviously, in his career. He's still early in his Rangers career. He's not even really played a full season yet.
No, exactly.
He has not been in the team really. Past few games there, mostly sub appearances, or he's not even got on the park at all. So I do think he is lacking confidence. He needs. I thought he played good against Livingston in his preferred position. See if we play him in the middle, and he's either assisting, scoring, just doing whatever. Get his confidence back, and it will come back gradually. I think Gerrard's the man, really.
Exactly, mate. I agree with you. I think Gerrard just needs to put his arm around him and just, you know what I mean, give him that boost.
Because we know he can be like unreal at times. And he has been lacking confidence, because I remember at the very start of the season, we played a couple of French teams, Lyon and Marseille, I believe. Could be
Marseille,
wrong, but played the two of them. He scored a couple of goals away from home against Lyon. I'm like, Hadji could be the main man this season. But he's still yet to obviously add that to his game. But it's going to come. I know it's going to come. And I'm pretty sure Gerrard will be managing him well.
No, exactly. As I say, mate, I just think sometimes as football fans, also because we're so passionate and we love the club, but we can just lose the fact that it's going to take time and it's going to take patience with the lad to get to the performance we know this year.
It reminds me a lot of Borna Barisic's situation a couple of seasons ago.
No, exactly.
He was in and out of the team. He was brought in for this amount of money. He's like an international player. He's not sort of hitting the heights that we really expected. He drops out the team for a bit, comes back in. All it really took him was that free kick v St Mirren last season, and that was him just straight for there. So I think it'll take something like that for Hadji as well. a consistent maybe run a good form, and playing him in the right position is obviously the main thing, and a goal or two. I think he does definitely need a goal or two. Although he's not really a goal scorer, I think that could help him.
No, I agree.
And the other international story that came out was Stephen Davis left the Northern Ireland camp early. He withdrew from the game. They actually play Romania, but it's apparently down to personal reasons. So I don't know how that is. I know Gerrard obviously left him out of the Hamilton game because he wanted to respect that they're playing a big game and they'll need their captain, which is fair enough. So I don't know if he's maybe repaying Gerrard with that favour, saying, I'll be ready, just he needs a few extra days.
Or he knows that this whole, you know what I mean, Nations League thing's just friendlies really, innit, to be honest. I don't even know what the Nations League is.
I honestly couldn't tell you either.
I just think it was one of the cases where Gerrard knew that, listen, I know how important this game means to you. It's probably your last chance, realistically, to get to a tournament, because I don't think Davis will be playing much longer, really. But I just think Davis, I might agree with you there. He's probably went, you know what, fuck this is probably just friendlies and all that. I'm away back to
because he's a player that, similar to Defoe, he needs managed at his age.
No, exactly. That's what I'm on about. That's what I'm saying. I think, look, listen, go play the big game. Go play your big game that can assure you'll be there in the summer. But he might have just went, look, listen, there's no point, is there? They're not going. What is this Nations League thing? Because I couldn't tell you what it is. I don't know if you could, mate. I've got no idea what it is. What is this?
Well, I was just like that. Scotland won the final in the Nations League, but Thursday night they're playing in the Nations League again. I'm like, so what is this actually for? I don't know. I don't want to get it because I've got no clue what it's about.
No, I've got no clue as well, mate. But that's what I'm on. But 1 minute it's qualifying for Euro, and then it's Nations League, and then I'm like, what is this? What is going on?
Aye, 100%.
It's just a waste of time.
That was the only.
No, but bigger.
That was one. Balogun, I think, pulled up with an injury for Nigeria. Try to think who else was away. Obviously, Borna Barisic had that sort of COVID scare where Domagoj Vida and that.
But Aribo would have been away with Balogun.
Aribo played. They were up 4-1 at half time against somebody and then ended up drawing 4 each after they took Balogun off. So that says to me something. Balogun's the best defender in the world. But plenty of internationals obviously in the team nowadays. Like, it's crazy to have.
Which is good
it's crazy to have that many players away. Kamara also gets a win for Finland against France. 2-0 they beat France. So they beat France 2-0. He came off the bench right enough, but
I think France have got the difficult group at the Euros. I think they've got like Germany and
have they?
Portugal.
That'll be a tasty one.
Aye, Germany, Portugal. That's what I'm on about. Kamara's got a derby with, I say a derby, but Finland and Russia. I think they've been to war with each other.
Who knows, mate? Who knows? I think that's really all for the international roundup. I know, obviously, Morelos and that is away, but he's still got a game to play. I don't know if he started the game the other night or that, but he's not scored.
Let's get into the main gravy. Let's talk about, obviously, Benfica at home in it. And
we've got Aberdeen first, and then Benfica's a week after that. But if you want to look at Aberdeen, and then we'll go on to 10 goals.
I never said that.
So Aberdeen, they came onto this in sort of good form, if you want to say that. Obviously went down to Celtic in the semi-final, but drew 3 each with them. And then they beat Hibs 2-0 and all, which is a big sort of statement there, the two teams fighting for the place below Rangers and Celtic. So that's a big statement to make. They have been much improved under Derek McInnes, I would say. Obviously, at the start of the season, when we played them, pretty poor, obviously losing that many players to that scandal they had in Everton. Derek McInnes was on a knife edge if he was even going to be there, because he was getting a lot of criticism. But he's turned it around. He's brought in good players, and that'll be a tough game again.
I think it'll be a tough game. First game back, obviously, for the international.
It's always a tough one.
I just think it'll be. That's what I'm on about. It'll be a tough game. I don't expect us to play as well as we've played the last two. I expect it to be a tough game. But it's good, like, as I said, I don't mean to go back to Scotland, but I remember just watching the Scotland game, and I was thinking to myself, see only if Tavernier was
It
Scottish.
would literally solve every problem.
I know, I'm like, see only if Tav was Scottish. But no, I'm happy players like Tav, McGregor, obviously, and some of your big players that obviously on at the international
Ryan Kent and all,
tournament
obviously,
break sort of thing. Exactly, Kent as well. So no, I mean, it's definitely going to be a difficult game. I just think it'll be one of the games where maybe it might be slow to get the rhythm back. I'll be shocked if Rangers just go out there and blow them away. I'll be like, wow.
I've not really seen that after an international break. It's either went one of two ways. We've collapsed or we've slowly got there. But if we came out of the blocks and just blow them away in the first half, I mean, I'll be more than happy. And it wouldn't surprise me this season personally, because I'm expecting that every game the way it's going. But Aberdeen, they play every game against Rangers as if it's a cup final, so expect a tough one.
But they don't do that with Celtic, innit? But they don't do that with Celtic when they're actually in a cup, let's say, in their final.
All the time in the cup. So who was the injuries actually? Balogun is touch and go. Stephen Davis, fuck knows what happened to him. I don't know if there's any other injury news. I think that might be it.
That's it.
So we've got everybody to pick for you, and if you want to go into your team lineup for this one, I've got mine in front of me here. So I'm going to go with McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, obviously, Hollander, Barisic, Jack, Aribo, Arfield, Roof, Morelos, and Kent.
I agree with that, mate. 100% agree with that. I think that will be the lineup.
Probably two. I don't know about Zungu. He was at another one actually. He was away for South Africa and scored. So I don't see him starting this game. I see Arfield nailed on to start this game. I don't know why, but it's an exciting lineup.
I just think it'll be. I know it's still an exciting lineup. I'll just to say at the end of the day, mate, I'll take the win. You know what I mean? It's after international break. I'm not expecting a top-notch performance, as I said. Like, I just expect
you're looking to continue the winning streak. Obviously, we'll get back to the great form that we've been on with more games, obviously. But this is one you're want to go into. You want to just win the game. Limit Aberdeen to none, pretty much, and I think we could be very capable of doing that. Although, obviously, it's a different sort of team to Hamilton. Hamilton, you know, you're going to go and beat them. Aberdeen's one that you know they're going to be up for it. You know they're looking to stop us winning football matches. So we still need to be on our game. You know what I mean? We can't be lackluster. We need to keep continuing to win. So for a score prediction, then what are you going for? I know you always say a Rangers win, but
Jack, that's what I'm about to say, mate. It's just a Rangers win. That's what I care about. I just want to win. Don't care if it's 1-0. I don't care if it's another.
I'm going to go for 2-0. 2-0 as usual. I mean, that's the steal. It's a standard. I'm sorry, I wish I'd put 8-0 on the other week though. So I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. I've been looking for this game.
Right, let's go into the juicy bit now.
The juicy bit?
Let's go into the juicy stuff. Aye, let's talk about the 10 goals.
Obviously a while away anyway, so to keep myself obviously sane during the international break, I've just been watching a lot of highlights, as you do, with Rangers. And I just thought of this idea for it to be good, as I said at the top of the episode. So if you want to start with your number 10.
Number 10, mate, is a bit controversial because it's not a Rangers goal. It's not a Rangers goal. I could have thing with it, but I thought this goal was a tremendous goal and I had to put it in there. I've got Hearts' semi-final goal.
You've got Hearts.
I don't know who scored it. I've just put a Hearts goal in there, mate. I thought I'd just put a Hearts goal in there.
I can't even remember who it was.
I can't remember who it was that scored it, but it was a beautiful ball in and it was a beautiful header into the box. I just thought it was a tremendous goal, mate. But the rest of the Rangers goals, don't worry.
Fair play, spicing it up a wee bit. My number 10 is Brandon Barker v Hamilton. I was watching that one back. That one stuck out to me because it was your boy down the left, Calvin Bassey. Just made
My boy Barry.
He made a powerful run, obviously, into the middle of the park. Squares it to Defoe, who Defoe then passes it to Barker and he takes it first time, slots it behind the goalkeeper. I thought it was a great goal.
No, it was a tremendous goal, I'd say. Anyway, it was. That's definitely a good goal, mate. That's a good shout. I just thought I'd spice things up and go with
I respect it. I respect
goal.
it for Randy Boy Halliday.
Well, exactly.
Number 9.
But number 9, I've got Ryan Kent's goal versus Dundee.
Right? Cool. That was a great goal and all. I've got that on my list, but it's further up. I thought that was a great goal. Just the trickery for obviously Ryan Kent at the start of the season it's unreal. And just the fact that he just slots it in with such confidence at the time, it was unreal. I loved that goal personally.
No,
you get a bit of disturbance back there. It
was a tremendous goal. I have got a bit of disturbance there, mate. My chefs are cooking for us.
What were we on there? Number 9, I had Alfredo Morelos for Benfica. Just obviously everything that came with that goal being the record-breaking goal, 3-1 up at the time. It was a great worked goal. Tavernier again with that assist. Just one that's obviously pretty special.
I've went for another. I've went for a Morelos goal.
Is this your number 8?
Against the Polish. This is my number 8. It was a beautiful ball for Barisic. It was a beautiful header at the time. Goal that we were needing. We were craving at the time. Obviously in Europe again. I can't remember what's the name. Poznan, innit? Aye, wait, Poznan. Aye, you're good with the names. I'm no.
It was
for Morelos. Moment Europe.
Would you say important? It was an important goal because that was a tough game. That obviously we talked about it, but it was a tough game.
As I said, at the time in the game, mate, it was just we're crying out for him to come on, and just Barisic whips a beautiful ball in, and just bam. So just for the importance of the goal as well in terms of the group,
getting us a massive 3 points. Obviously, you expected to win that game. So the fact that Morelos obviously at the time and all got another goal closer to breaking that record was special as well. It was a bullet header. You can't forget that. Nearly broken it, man. It's definitely that haircut. For my number 8, I've got Scott Arfield v Galatasaray. Also another one that was important. Put us 1 up in the game. If I remember rightly, it was Hadji that made the sort of pass. It was a quick move, and Arfield receives a pass for Hadji, I'm sure, then slots it home with outside his foot, puts us up 1-0 at the time. In an important game, obviously, Galatasaray, you were looking at it, this is a massive game, massive team, and obviously to go up 1-0 against them was massive, and then that led to 2-0, but I thought that was a good goal. Arfield, obviously, at that time as well, on like red hot form, so that's my number 8.
Can I just shock you there, Jack?
Is that your number 7?
Number 7 goal. Aye, that's number 7 for me, mate. I just thought it was a tremendous goal as well. Just Alan McCabe screaming about it on the commentary. That's a beautiful goal.
Count your laurels. What'd you call it? 7, aye. 7. I've
7 for me, mate.
Roof v Dundee United. Roof v Dundee United. It was a good move out for the back. Good sort of work in the midfield. Pass gets played to Arfield. Arfield, I still claim that it was a shot. Definitely was a shot.
It was a shot, mate.
What I like about that goal is just Roof using his sort of his instincts to latch on to anything and everything. So I thought that was a tremendous goal. Just this was a great game for good goals, you know what I mean?
No, it wasn't. That's what I like to see if he came married. it's just his striker instinct. You know what I mean? He knows where to be when the ball's close to the net. That's what I
he's
like
looking
about
like a
Kemar.
great player.
Oh, he is a great player. Number 6 for me, mate.
Arfield versus Hibs, aye.
I went for that goal, mate. Just the play, as you say, there's a current theme here. It's the build-up play before the goal. No, just the play up to the goal and then the pass and then the goal, mate. It was tremendous. Obviously, you know what I mean. At the time, it was a
poor game. But I'm going to actually watch that back now and see that goal. I'm going to stick on it now. So it starts with Tavernier. Tavernier plays it into Arfield, one-touch football, and Hadji plays it straight back to him and he slots in the bottom corner. So, again, it's what I've noticing is a theme of being quick. It's just fast attacking football. And that is a great goal, actually. Good shout. My number 6 is Kent v Dundee United. Obviously, we talked about it when you were getting shouted on there. What would you like to say about that goal?
Aye. No, it's just as I say, mate. That's what I expect for that in Kent. The quick feet and slotting in the bottom corner, man. It's just that's what I want about. As we said at the time, like at the start of the season, was like if he can keep that form up and for the start to the finish, then that's what you want to see if he can. But sadly, it just doesn't seem to be the way.
Nah, I know he's getting back into a bit of form. I think he was playing well against Benfica and Hamilton there, so. Hopefully.
No, he was.
He'll be back to that sort of best way he showed with that goal. If you're number 5 now, top 5.
Number 5 is my boy Cedric.
Big Cedric. So is that his first one against Motherwell? Aye, I know.
Aye, the one with
Nah, it was a great goal.
That beautiful finish. That one. I know that one for me is. That's a special goal, especially if that's
just introduces himself, didn't he? Like, obviously, at that time and all, we hadn't really seen much of Cedric Hitton.
No, I didn't. I honestly didn't. When he was signed, honestly, I didn't know much about him. I thought he was just a replacement for
Canberra.
If he had a lot of people were saying like Canberra plays similar to him, but I don't think Canberra can strike a ball like that, mate, to be honest with you. That was a beautiful strike.
I've got also
it's a special
him on my list as well. I just think it's the touch he takes. The ball rolls up onto his foot and he just strikes it in half volley, man. It's beautiful. It's not an easy goal to score, man.
Beautiful, man.
And
no, it's not.
Obviously, a couple of games I roughly went through with him, man. Aye.
I don't
think I do, no.
No, mate, I do. I remember that. Special players remember special things.
I've not even said my number 5.
Number 4 for me is... so you haven't, sorry, mate, sorry.
Eaton is on my list as well with that goal, but number 5 is Barisic v St Johnstone, free kick. Early in the season, sort of a tough sort of game. St Johnstone, similar to a lot of teams that come to Ibrox, just sit in, so... this came at a good time. This goal to go 1 up. It was a great free kick, top corner.
No, I fucking remember.
I've not much to say about that one. I've done obviously Barisic and his free kicks. And then if you want to go into your number 4 now.
Number 4 for me is obviously a brilliant goal, but it's scored by somebody.
This was one I was thinking about it.
I was thinking about it and I just thought, I've got to put it in, mate, because it's what a goal, man. But I went for Jonesy's goal against Motherwell, mate.
Unreal goal, by the way.
Tremendous goal.
That was his first
goal for Rangers, I know.
It's the fashion he does it in. It's like, Jesus Christ, Jordan Jones at the time, he's introduced himself to a new problem for Gerrard, obviously. Now that's sort of out the window, but at the time that was a fantastic goal.
I know, I mean the ball, like it's played for Arfield and then the run.
It just shows you what being a wee fanny can do, doesn't it?
I know it does, mate. That's what I'm on about. It shows you what Instagram posting can do for you.
Tadger. But you can't take away from the fact that was a good goal.
No,
So my number 4 is Glenn Kamara v Benfica. Plenty of good goals in this Benfica game, by the way. 2 of them making on my list. Just playing out for the back, Aribo to then Morelos. Morelos plays a big switch over the middle of the park.
A beautiful ball.
Nice to see that obviously Morelos has got that passing range in his locker. Straight to Kamara. He creates that sort of little bit of space and strikes it low and hard into the bottom corner. Puts us up 2-1. Obviously, it was a great goal because you don't see Kamara taking. I was
shocked when
Kamara hitting the shot for.
No, that's what I'm on about. I was shocked when he got that. It's like he's just scored that. Wow! But as you say, mate, the play before the goal was just beautiful, and that's I think
very
moving
it
theme. Fast,
it's
fast and quick.
Play it up to the goal.
You know what I mean? And we're playing long balls as well. And the long balls as well. To shock you, Jack, yet again. That's my
Kamara v Benfica, is it?
3 for me. It is, mate. I just thought it was a special goal, man. Especially Morelos playing that ball. I'm like, where did you learn how to do that? I've never seen him do
that. My number 3 is...
That was a great goal.
The one before that is Eton. Funnily enough. Eton v Motherwell. That first goal, obviously, we talked about it. Just unreal. Top 2 now. I've got a feeling we're both going to have the same 2 goals here.
I think we've got the same goal for the first one.
Nothing comes close to that.
You can't know.
We do have the same 2 then. Aye, for that to be
special goals, mate.
300th goal in his career and all. What a man. What a pass over the top.
What a player as well. Just a role model as well. How can you have somebody like, it's what I'm thinking myself, I was thinking at the time as well. How can you have somebody like Jermaine Defoe who, when he doesn't get picked for, say, big games and that, and you think to yourself, throw him on, he's got that Premier League experience, but he doesn't get picked. I've never seen him have a fit, like, you know what I mean? Or anything like that. I heard about him having a fit about it. He then plays Livingston at home, Hamilton at home, and he scores, you know what I mean, goals like this. You know what I mean? Compared to Jordan Jones and Edmondson, how can they 2 share the locker with that guy? Like, that guy is
different class, honestly. It's good to obviously mention that he's not been in the team as much as obviously he would like personally, but he's 38 now, so he needs to be managed. These are the sort of games he'll get, and this is the sort of stuff he'll produce in those games. So, as I was just saying before, a great over the top through ball, and just that finish, man. I don't think I could even do that.
It's sulky, innit? It's just
like.
I think I could do that. I think on my day I could do it.
Unreal goal. Just an unreal guy, man. Pleasure to have him at the club.
See, honestly, think about it. There's only one time I can remember Defoe having a fit. It was when he was playing for Toronto.
I have seen that.
Have you ever seen that one? No. He was pure like adamant to take the penalty, and then the guy takes it and scores, and then they're just joking about it then.
Aye. That's the only time I remember him.
That's the only time I can remember him.
Funnily enough. But number 1, it's only going to be one guy. It's only going to be Kemar Roof. I mean, this was a goal that was that good that we titled one of the episodes just Kemar Roof. It's just a good excuse to go and put it on now, so I'm putting it on. Just...
I mean, pretty couldn't have done it, we'd say, no, Joe. But no. To have scored that goal, and as we said at the time, with the conditions on the park, the footwork to obviously get past the man and then just hit the ball, you know what I mean? Like, wow, what a special goal. And you know it's special when Steven Gerrard's saying it's the best goal he's ever seen.
He skips past like 4 or 5 people on that surface and he just hits it in his own half, and I'm like, at the time I'm like, what the fuck's he shooting for there for? Shouldn't we be taking it into the corner and trying to defend our lead? But and then he just produces that, and you're like, fucking hell, man. I can't get enough of that goal still.
No. It's a special goal, man.
It's going to be one of them, you know. Kemar Roof, man.
I remember that time. That goal.
That's the top 10, mate.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Off the top of my head, I can't think any we didn't mention.
No, not really. I can't think of any. Top of my head,
No, I can't think of any.
that we didn't
But
mention.
aye, that's the top 10 list, obviously. If you're listening to the podcast, we'd like to tweet us at every other Satu one. Just any you think we didn't obviously mention. Obviously, he mentioned a Hearts goal. So take your pick of goals.
I had to throw it in. It was a game I watched enough. I watched it, man. I was watching the game with Dad. I was like, that's a Yelter goal. Just the ball, the finish. I was like,
Fair
bam,
play.
great
But
goal, man.
I don't know if we've to cover anything else, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have. Make sure to get I Can Boogie to number one, mate. That's all I can say.
Boogie. I mean, have these been listening to that all week?
Boogie.
Yeah?
I'm not the best singer. I'm not going to sing.
No, you've got to sing I Can
I'm
Boogie.
not the best singer. I ain't singing. No,
I've just seen
I was watching the game.
there. I Can Boogie special has been uploaded by Open Goal, so there you go. Your entertainment sorted.
I mean, I'm gonna have to get after
so that's all I've really got to talk about. We've reviewed the sort of what's happened in the past couple of weeks. Had a bit of fun with the top 10 goals and that. So that's it, mate.
No, it's just hope Rangers can deliver. Obviously, it'll be tough. Obviously, because
hopefully we're back on a positive note.
Coming up.
Hopefully. I think that's all. So it's been a pleasure once again. Thank you very much for listening.
It's been a pleasure as always, Jack.